Let's see, we're off today back to our little secret creek, which is a fun little Jeep ride, and we'll see what's going on today down without water. So we'll be digging up some material and taking it down to a place where we've got some running water and processing it. Today is very, very cold outside. Matter of fact, I had to convince Wayne to actually go today because his first two words when he answered the phone were, "It's cold out there." I just thought, because this is such an interesting little Jeep ride, we'll go ahead and take a little video of running through the boonies. I couldn't be able to hold this thing too steady at this point, but this is the nice thing about a Jeep. It would be a long walk in if we had to pack in to get to this spot, and this makes it a lot nicer, but makes it an adventure. Now we're getting even more adventurous here. Avoid whiplash on the way down, we will be down to the creek shortly. At this point, the road virtually disappears, and it gets really interesting. It's amazing what you do to go out and find the buttery yellow gold. Boy, we're going to miss that big rock in the middle there. The deer are plentiful out here. We just spooked a couple of them up the hill. This is a creek bed, a little drainage. Yeah, last time we came out, we had we had a whole bunch of deer. I've only seen those two thus far this morning. This meadow down here really makes it a perfect spot for a deer to hang out. They've got water fairly close by. And hell yeah, I can see one over here on the hillside, just standing there. I don't know if you can see him on this one. Oh, there he takes off. Yeah, there's a couple more right down in the bottom. Okay, so we got 3-4 deer there. They're just going to let us drive right by them. Nobody's going to get spooked. Here's the kids. The whole gang. And even opened his window so we could take a picture of deer as we drive by. Okay, well, that's the fun part. And now we're back on down into the flat where it's a little easier to get down. We're basically in a creek bed here. And it's lucky it hasn't rained, otherwise this whole place would be one soggy mess. But that's our trip down. We'll be at the creek momentarily and pick up the video from there. Alright, well, we're down in the creek bottom here, and I've got a beautiful drop right here that came over a root, and we are digging into some very, very, very fractured bedrock. Gonna take a quick shot here and show you I've got clay right down in here. You can see how this bedrock comes apart with just, I could break this with my fingers if I felt like it. Look at that, just coming apart, falling out. This is right at the bottom of a drop and probably is going to contain some decent gold. Let's kind of scrape this out of here. And you can see as we go down, we're getting into clay here. And that gold should sit right on top of the clay layer right after it makes the drop and wiggles in amongst the little cracks in this bedrock. So this is the kind of material we're working today. It's just beautiful, beautiful stuff. And I'm hoping to see a real nice pan of gold when we finish up today. Okay, and here we have Wayne filling up a couple of half buckets. And you can see we got a tree root running across the creek here, and he's digging in front of the tree root here. Now he also pulled some material out behind the tree root where he is kneeling. But again, beautiful material. And you can see all this flaky, very fragile bedrock. I mean, that's all you can call it. Mainly because if it'll come apart with your fingers or a spoon, why, it's not exactly tough digging. This is not hard rocking today. And there's a shot. Let's see, Wayne, you almost got your bucket's full, and I still have another bucket and a half to fill up, so I better get back to work. Alright, well, this is the results from my first pan out from a half bucket of material. I was taking material from 3 different spots on the creek bed there. And this is the upper drop area, and this is my -20s, but we did okay. We got some decent gold there. Let's get down in here and give you a quick look. I think maybe pulling this back might make it a little nicer. There's just no way I can get rid of all this reflection here. So that gives you an idea of a half bucket's worth of material today. Wayne just panned out one of his half buckets, and he got 1 + 20 and some flakes of -20. And now he's going into his better material, and I'll be classifying my better material here as soon as I do my +20s. Alright, well, here's the results from the -20 from my second half bucket of material. You can see we've got decent gold, but not great gold. We got to work up to the great gold department. That's all I can think of here. So it's time to do the +20s and hope that there's a bunch of little chunkers in there.